All right, welcome back to SOS. I'm Staff Sergeant Badass. Today, I've got some unfortunate news for some of you out there that are probably not paying attention to everything I watch. Congress has enacted a bill that's requiring all 18 to 26-year-olds to be registered for the draft. That is the signs I predicted earlier this year when I made a video. Pretty much, you're all getting drafted. And this is how I said it was going to play out, and it's how it's playing out. No one's joining the military anymore, so they're going to have to start drafting people. We have multiple wars. We have, 36 countries. I think it's about 37 now that are all at war. And if you're paying attention and looking at everything I'm looking at, then you'd be aware of the same things. When it involves World War, where we're inching our way even closer in numbers of that war. So IRR, all those inactive reserves, you could do when you sign up into the military. You do like your 4 or 5 year whatever contract you got. Some get 3 when they're really lucky. When they sign up for a certain particular MOSs for whichever branch of service you join. Now, when you use up that time, you have this inactive time that gets pulled off as if you get out. So you don't burn all your uniforms like you'd burn a brawl or something. You put your uniforms up and wait in the event you might get called back into service. And that has been depleted. And all the inactive readies and all that has all been depleted. No one's signing up for the military. No one's joining. The numbers are horrible. They don't even want to show you the numbers anymore. And the ads for the military are increasing, but no one's joining. And I think they all know better. And usually when times like these, they just know better than to do that sort of thing. And I get a lot of questions when it comes to the draft. Now, you go back to the time periods of the drafts in previous history, and you look at the type of people that they would take. Now, they would take elderly in a certain extent for, it would be garrison type activities. It depends on the type of job you get sucked into doing. Now, for those folks out there, I always get the comments where it's like, well, I've got felonies, so I don't have to worry about serving in the military. Well, to a certain extent, it depends on how increasingly crazy the war gets. That's when they wouldn't have, the pickiness stops when we start getting into serious things. Now, how do people in the military feel about people getting drafted? We don't like it. People that are in the military, if any of you are like me, you don't like things like that. Even if you were serving alongside me, I was in during stop loss, stop leave. And during stop loss, nobody was joining the military at the time. So they did a stop loss, stop leave, and you couldn't go on leave. You couldn't transition. You couldn't change duty stations. You couldn't get out. You were stuck. If it was your it was your EAS and you were getting ready to go grab your DD-214, you couldn't go grab that little piece of paper that says "I proudly served," and you would show that as honorable discharge, and to get your discharge paperwork. That's what a DD-214 is. That means that you've checked in the box, you've served your country, and you've moved on with your life. And when we were in during stop loss, the guys that were in that, they were great guys in the beginning. I worked alongside them, and then when they heard they couldn't get out, that's when they got sour. They started doing really bad stuff. They didn't care. Peeing in the sink next to the CO, they didn't care. That type of bad behavior comes out in individuals because whatever, what are you going to do to me? But they can still punish you at that point and throw you in the brig or whatever, bread and water, the whole nine. That actually is still a fact, especially aboard ship. Most people don't think that's a real thing, but it actually is a real thing. Now, the draft, bringing people in, it's just, it sucks. I don't like it. People who serve don't like it, and we don't like it because the people that come in, they don't want to be there anyways. And when you get them there, you end up with a whole lot of that. So, it's already troublesome in the military already with all the social experiments that they're doing, and pronoun stuff, and You know, it's one big social experiment now, and it's hard enough dealing with the 10%, and the 10% has gone to like 20% that get in trouble, and they're getting in trouble because, you know, the type of people that they get now just cause problems, and the type of people they're going to get when they get drafted, it's not going to be any better. It's going to be worse, and you're going to be dealing, I don't want to be here, you know, and that kind of thing. We've had all kinds of situations like that where it just gets really sour. But I just wanted to come on and share that portion with you. It is a big deal when you start hearing these things, and you need to pay attention to it. The letters in the mail, the knocks on the door. You know, I remember back in history where you know, people had, you know, I'm not going. I refuse to go, and then they come and they start arresting people, and they force them to go anyways. They go from basically, you know, sheriff picks them up to getting in the back of a giant bus with bars on the window and going straight for a training facility. That's the kind of stuff that happens from those things. But parents, if you've got kids out there, you know, if your kids are, you know, between the ages of 18 to 26, make sure you make them aware of the situation. That for any of you that have kids, or if you're the age that I'm mentioning, make sure you're aware of it. Pay attention to what's going on, and in the event that you get called or you get some kind of letter in the mail, just make sure you're aware of what's going on and what you need to do. So it's always good that somebody tells someone, because they're not going to share this on the news. Why are they not going to share it on the news? Because, I mean, we're at that phase of everything going on. We are creating new pandemics to battle elections, you know, that type of thing. When you start seeing like, oh, it must be election time, here comes another strain of some kind of flu bug thingamabob, wanting everybody to wear a mask and stuff. So when you start hearing things like that, they're not going to talk about this stuff on the news. It's going to make people look bad. It's going to make Congress look bad. It's going to make every one of the political characters, mouthpieces, all of them look bad. And they don't want that. They don't want it to affect their careers, their millions of dollars they get each year for standing around and looking cool. You know how it is. And I don't like this more than any of you guys. And but I want people to know what I hear, what I see, and share it with the other folks so that you guys can be aware of it too and get the word out to others. Please like, share, help that algorithm out, help me out. God bless you guys. We love you, and Semper Fi.